More than 70,000 ethnic Armenians have fled from Nagoro-Karabakh since the territory surrendered to Azerbaijan. It is alleged the exodus is part of Azerbaijan's ethnic cleansing policy. Ethnic Armenians say they are being eradicated from their homeland. An Australian delegation of politicians has just wrapped up a visit to the war-torn region. The Armenian Prime Minister predicts soon no Armenians will be left in Nagoro-Karabakh. Joining me live now is the Executive Director of the Armenian National Committee of Australia, Michael Kolokosian. Hello to you. This is a worsening humanitarian crisis, isn't it? Why are Armenians fleeing and where are they going to?
It is. Well, thank you for having me. We've been here in the Republic of Armenia. I'm currently in Yerevan, the capital, and behind me are volunteers working to put together supplies for the people of Artsakh. For the last 4 days, we've seen over 70,000 people flee the Republic of Artsakh through the Lachin corridor, which is now open after 10 months. They're heading for the city of Goris. They're in queues of over kilometres waiting to reach Goris, where they'll be processed through the ICRC and will be dispersed throughout the Republic of Armenia to try and find a new home. The displacement of these people is as a result of ongoing Azerbaijani aggression that wants to see its ethnic Armenian population within the borders of the Republic of Artsakh removed from that area and to have an Artsakh without any Armenians, an Artsakh or a Nagorno-Karabakh as it's internationally known, without any Armenians.
So where you are now, I understand yesterday you were where the refugees were fleeing to. You must have seen some heartbreaking scenes there. Can you talk us through how desperate these people are on the ground there?
Yeah, it was definitely difficult. I myself, being a survivor, descendant of survivors of the Armenian genocide, being there in that moment and witnessing in real time people fleeing their homes with whatever was on their backs, putting whatever they put in their car. It was heartbreaking. It was gut-wrenching. And we had 7 Australian parliamentarians from New South Wales and Victoria, many of whom had never witnessed anything like that in their lives. It was extremely difficult for them. We were encountering elderly women who couldn't speak any English and were asking us for help. We were walking through the streets of Goris, and there was mothers cradling their newborn children, 2-year-old children, 3-year-old children, and what looked like they had slept in the cars and waiting to be processed at the ICRC. We were there, and there were organisations on the ground that were trying to help feed the people who had just crossed the border, and some of our parliamentarians, rolled up their sleeves and wanted to get involved and participate in trying to help alleviate the humanitarian crisis on the ground. But there just isn't enough aid in this region to help the 120,000 Indigenous Armenians that have been forced from their home, that have been ethnically cleansed from their homes.
So you said that this delegation of Australian politicians did assist in some way. So there wasn't cash, but they did donate some goods. Can you talk us through what they gave and what kind of an impact will that make?
Yeah, well, on the ground, they were just helping with any sort of tasks that they could do. They really just wanted to roll their sleeves up and get involved. But prior to us arriving in the Republic of Armenia for our 4-day visit, the 7 parliamentarians facilitated the delivery of aid that was provided to the Armenian Relief Society of Australia through the Ryde City Council and Willoughby City Council. So both councils launched the Mayor Appeal for Artsakh to honour and to help alleviate this humanitarian crisis. And the parliamentarians were there to witness what the 40,000 Australian dollars was able to purchase, and to work with the Armenian Relief Society in delivering that to the authorities in Yerevan, the Artsakh authorities in Yerevan. And that aid is now making its way across the Republic of Armenia, because what we're seeing is there isn't enough room in Goris for these 120,000 refugees, or what we expect to be 120,000 refugees, and they'll be fleeing across the Republic of Armenia. So that aid is currently in Yerevan, and it is making its way through the regions to where it needs to be.
So that donation that you were just talking about, as you say, that was from Ryde and Willoughby local councils. Has there been a formal request to the Australian government for a donation for aid?
Yes, there has. The Armenian National Committee of Australia, as the peak public affairs body of our community, has written to the Foreign Affairs Minister, Senator the Honourable Penny Wong, requesting that Australia provides emergency financial assistance to alleviate the humanitarian crisis on the ground. And we've requested that through the ICRC, the International Committee of the Red Cross. There is a precedent there of Australia providing aid through the ICRC. So we see this as a viable option for Australia to show its generosity on the international stage and to help alleviate this crisis. As of yet, we haven't received a response from the Foreign Minister's office. We are disappointed because this crisis is changing day by day, hour by hour. We're seeing more refugees cross the border as they fear for their lives, and we need to see the Australian government take immediate action. Samantha Power, USAID, recently announced that the US is providing over 10 million US in aid. And we want to see that from our government. Senator the Honourable Simon Birmingham, the Shadow Foreign Affairs Minister of the Liberals, also made a statement calling on the Australian government to provide emergency aid and expertise on the ground here in Armenia for the people of Artsakh.
Thank you for that update, and we'll be staying across the story. Thank you, Michael Kolokosian. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.